Welcome to Dare to Date Me. We dive into the uncomfortable part about dating in today's reality. What does it look like? You can swipe left, you can swipe right, you can try and go out and meet people organically, but does that really happen? Not always. So we have various different people come in and join us in studio to talk about dating and the realities of it and what they're going through right now. Today, our guest is Chris. So Chris, after decades of marriage, you found yourself suddenly single after your husband passed away. Our condolences go out to you.
Yes.
Thank you for coming into the studio today to share your story. You're in your prime, my friend. You and I have had conversations outside of this realm. You're super successful in your mid-40s. You have your life in order. You have your life together. It was a wild turn of events that put you into this situation. How is this situation working out for you now?
I mean, dating is definitely new. I mean, I haven't dated since the 90s.
Yeah,
When
a little different back then.
Way
Did
different.
you have a digital pager?
Right?
Yeah. Yeah.
You know, it's like I tried dating sites.
How did that work out for you?
I think they're a mess because I feel that it's like a candy store if you think about it. Do I find that person attractive? Am I just ending up in somebody's pile to look at maybe later? Did I find myself maybe doing that? Oh, that person is interesting. I'll touch back on that. And so I left that in last October. I did it for about 4 or 5 months, and I left it in last October. And I guess I'm old school. I just want to find people the old school way, you know. Maybe I'm foolish for trying that, but that's all that I know. And this new way is just so crazy to me.
You mean a three-dimensional person, not a two?
Yeah.
Yes, exactly.
Yeah.
So let's talk about the dating sites for a minute. We're going to go back to that before we come forward. Awkward encounters. I've had friends tell me stories of sheer horror. Everybody uses filters nowadays. First and foremost, I would have to call my 6-year-old granddaughter and ask her how to use a filter, okay? Right. I mean, yes, I work in technology. I understand how to build a network for a building.
Right.
But tell me how to use a filter. I'm like, hi, I need to call a grandchild.
Right.
Yes.
Right? So people are using filters. Mm-hmm. People are not where they say they are. People are using AI-generated images.
All that background stuff.
Right?
Right.
Yeah.
So how do you go through that and hope and pray the person you're meeting for dinner actually looks like their pictures? And if they don't look like your pictures, do you bail?
So I've never bailed on anybody. I probably should have. I should have bailed on quite a few because, height isn't huge with me, but I'm going to be honest. I would like somebody taller than me or at least my height. Don't be honest with your physical appearance. If I walk in a room, I am going to look like this. I'm going to look like my photo. There's no mistaking me when I walk into a room. Like they walk right up to me and I'm kind of looking at them like, oh, it is you. Okay. And I'm kind of questioning all of those things because they don't look like their photo. They don't represent their height and their look that they gave me. And I'm just like, okay. I've never bailed on anybody. I've met people that said that they were in their early 50s and they're actually 60 something.
And then you're not dating their avatar. You're trying to
exactly.
Right. You're trying to date them. And that's part of it, right?
Yeah.
Is be upfront, be honest, because it's going to come out anyway.
Yeah.
I'm going to find out.
If you tell me you're 6 foot and you show up and you're 5'6", if you're 6 foot, I'm wearing heels. If you're 5'6", I'm wearing flat boots.
Right.
Right? So,
exactly.
be honest about something that is so clearly definitive when I meet you.
Absolutely. I'm very transparent. I'm very honest with who I am. I don't use any filters. If they request a full body with clothing, I will send that to them.
Oh, that's a whole nother path to go down. Now that you brought it up, we're going to jump on that pathway. All right.
Do they do this? Do they actually ask that? It's like,
yeah.
It's not like we're in junior high and somebody's putting socks in their bra. I mean,
no. So here's my big red flag.
Penis pictures are nasty.
Anybody want calendars? I can create mini calendars
Yes,
with the amount of dick pics that I have
Date Me.
received.
Oh my God.
Let's do a Dare
I'm
to
not
Date Me
kidding
dick
you.
calendar.
Dear God, we could do 2. I've got 2 years worth. It's
Excellent.
absolutely ridiculous.
Excellent.
why anyone would think that that's what you want to have?
Does my smile say that? Does it depict that in my facial expressions with my photos? I'm not sure. It's hilarious.
It's like, please send me
But
one.
Is
I've
it like
met
sending
people-
a Taco Tuesday picture? I mean, come on.
So usually the way I know I'm going to receive one is like through Messenger or what have you. They're
Right.
like, you don't have a lot of pictures of your body on Facebook. I'm like, oh, hell.
Here
And
it
then that's the
goes.
next thing that comes.
You're like, good morning.
I'm
Absolutely
like,
not.
in one of these days, I'm going to be like 1, 2, 3, 4. I declare a thumb war. Like,
Yeah.
seriously, I
Yes.
don't want this. You know, I didn't
Perfect.
request it at all. Like,
Perfect.
what part of my face said, please send me a picture of your cock?
I don't think they know anything, and I'm like, what are you? How proud can you be of that?
Right?
It's not if it's not being used at the moment I'm seeing it. It's not of any use to me.
so true. So if we need calendars, just let me know.
I'm all in. I'm like all in with the Dare to Date Me Dick calendar. I'm all in.
Exactly.
Ladies and gentlemen, they'll be coming out soon. Get them for
Yes,
Christmas. I'm just
please.
going to tell you that now. Like, start buying them for Christmas gifts.
I know.
Send them to all your
Forget the
girlfriends.
fireman calendar.
Everybody will want one. Maybe you're not your grandmother, but you know,
She might enjoy it.
she might enjoy it. She might enjoy it.
It's been
you
a
know.
while since she might
All
say
right,
one.
let's get on to the actual dating part. I want to hear about the actual dating stuff. That's what I've been sitting here waiting for.
All right,
Give me the goods, babe. Give me the goods.
You and I have talked. You like a little younger.
I do.
Why?
They are not intimidated by me,
All right.
by what I do
So
for a
a
living.
successful woman.
Yes.
Okay. We're not going to mention what you do or anything else. You
Nope.
are hugely successful. And younger men are not intimidated.
They do not come across as being intimidated by me. They are respectful of me. They open doors. They pay for things where men my age or a little bit older, I think they want me to be pathetic and needy and can't do anything for myself. And so I think they get intimidated by me, and then they find out what I do for a living, and that would be a whole other segment of what I've been called.
I get
Right.
that too.
because of what I
understand
do,
that. Right.
which isn't anything bad. Don't get me
It's
wrong.
totally legal. Everything
it's
that Chris does, I'm just going to say it's
just
totally
being a
legal.
successful professional woman.
Correct.
That's the thing. Older men are probably the reason why they're single when they're older is probably because their wives or whoever they were with previous probably found themselves by the time they were in their 30s and all that and became the person that they needed to be and left him behind.
Exactly.
And they just can't fake it anymore.
No. And don't get me wrong, I don't want to always be strong and independent. I would like to depend on somebody.
Yeah, come over and fix something for me.
Right.
Like,
Yeah.
pick something and fix it. I'm all in.
Be civil. I love
Exactly.
that.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
You know, I don't want to be a plumber. I don't want to learn all of the trades that I have learned because of what has happened in my life. My deck of cards was, dealt to me differently than anybody else's. And it is what it is. I think the other thing is I don't hate. I have no hate for my past person. I have no horrible past, so they don't have to fix me. And I think they have a problem with them wanting to come in and be the knight in shining armor and try to fix me and save me from a horrible past that I didn't have.
Right.
So I don't speak
Fix
ill
my
of
patio and paint it for me because that
Please.
would be appreciated.
Yes, exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. Retrieve my necklace that fell down my sink drain, then I became a plumber to find.
There you go.
You know,
it's
Right.
the simple
do that.
things in life.
Yes.
It's simple things in life.
It's somebody that
Exactly.
also wants to be able to offer the help and be there to do some of those things with you, as opposed to just saying, okay, if they don't know how to do it, that's fine. They don't know how, that's not their skill set.
You know what? We'll learn together.
Right.
There you go.
Yeah.
Could
be a
go down a
participant.
whole different path when it's
Yeah.
finally
Correct.
fixed.
Yes.
There's that.
absolutely.
Now let's get back to the young guys because that's what I'm here for.
All right. So, best young guy dating story. What do you got?
Oh my. Well,
All right, gentlemen, you're going to have to listen to this because it's going to be something
Narrow
that
it
you're going to have to
down.
beat.
So I really haven't had solid dates, but I've been on great dates. I can say I've, unfortunately had situationships, and I've had just the people that just want the hookups because they're not ready to commit. But then they become kind of jealous and make sure that I'm not out doing anything with anybody else, and I'm not. I'm just
But
trying to
even
find
if
my
you
path.
are,
They set the ground rules.
You have stepped back on that line and you don't want to cross it, but you want to tell someone that they can't cross. No.
Right.
Because again, it's that insecurity thing that comes up that people aren't being honest with what they want, who they want to be
Right.
with. Now, are you in a situation after your husband's passing? Are you in a situation where you're just still liking the dating and being out and doing what you want to do, or are you coming
Are you
around to a
ready?
point to finding a person that you want to actually have as a long-term partner to do stuff with? I mean,
So I've had my fun.
okay.
You know what I mean?
Right.
So I waited a year and 3 months before I did anything before, I went on my first date, everything. It'll be 4 years in November since I lost my husband. And I want to find my calm. I want to find my wild. And I want to be that for somebody. I'm done with the casual. I mean, how many of those can you possibly have? How many of those can you? I know. Trust me. But there comes to a time that you're like, it is what it is. How many of those, like what we were just talking about, how many of those it is what it is can you really have and be comfortable with yourself and be okay? I'm done. I want to have my person. I really do.
Are you looking for the fairy tale, or are you, here's my...
Or a companion.
Right.
Right.
Are you looking for the long haul? Do you think someone in their 30s is ready for that?
I don't know. That's why I'm not quite sure. I can't do much older than me because I don't think they'll keep up. I'm very active. I'm very much into, I hike, I kayak, I side by side. I'm the girl that can be ready in 5 minutes, like we've talked about.
Yeah.
Right.
And I'm the girl that can take,
Absolutely.
30 minutes or an hour to get ready. I'm not the girl that wears a lot of makeup. So if that's what you're looking for, then please swipe me somewhere else because I'm not that. And I've been asked that. That's the crazy thing with men older than me. Like, why don't you wear more makeup? And I'm like, don't you want to know what I look like if you wake up next to me?
Yeah.
Do you not?
No,
like,
I
gotta look at
totally
you.
agree.
You can't hide. Why do you want me to hide? Why do you want me to be something that I'm not?
Right. Because they're looking for that trophy.
Right.
But so the age thing, I mean, I always kind of question that because it really is a state of mind, I think. Yeah. I'm at a point where I'm still forgetting how old I am.
Right.
Because I'm still doing the things that I'm doing and being who I want to be. So I would think that there are other people that might be older men and the younger men. It's really going to be a matter of what is their state of being, because there are older guys that can be active and there are younger ones that don't want to be.
Right. So the younger men that I've met and that I've had the privilege of getting to know, I don't think they act their age at all.
Perfect.
They're not childish. Right. They're very much, they have an amazing mindset. They are hard workers. They have goals. They set themselves up to do things. Right. And I don't see them as being much younger than I am. Just with their work ethic and how they are and how they talk and treat people.
You've been very lucky to find at least more than one that acts that way.
Yes, exactly. Exactly. Yeah. And then I've met men that are a little bit older than me or my age, and they are horrible.
Yep.
They don't have their shit together.
Yeah. So talking about having your shit together, what are some of the things that you're looking for in your partner?
So I'm not looking for financial support. I don't require that. I don't care where you live. I don't care what you drive. I don't care what you make. Just physically, mentally, and emotionally, that is what I need. Yes. And I think everybody needs that. But I'm not the one that's going to be like, I need your financial standings. Right. I don't. I don't want anybody to think that that's what I am. I need you for so much more. I'm worth so much more, and so are you. And that's the capacity that I would be there for you. It'd
be those intangible values.
Yeah.
What is something that if someone were to ask me about you, what are your green flags? What can I boast about you on?
I see, that's the thing. I'm not good at talking about myself or boosting myself or anything else. I'm not. But I am loyal. I am absolutely caring. My cousin always yells at me because she's like, you are constantly seeing the good in everybody. She's like, I'm sorry, that's your red flag, because you see the good in everybody and you miss the bad. You miss the red flags because you want to see the good. And I believe everybody is good at some point. It's just they're not always as good as maybe I think that they are.
Well, the thing is with that kind of optimistic viewpoint, which is always good, because you can get hurt by people, but if you stop being optimistic, then that's the sin.
Right.
Because then you're not giving maybe the next person the opportunity to become who they need to be because of your presence.
Right.
So it's good to be that way. You just have to be aware to not make yourself get hurt, where it's going to really be detrimental to you. Know that it's not always going to go where it needs to go.
Right. No, and I'm absolutely learning that, because it's like I constantly see the good in people, and I stick around, and I have so many people that I have dated or been in situationships with, and are we friends? Mm-hmm. Yeah, I'm still have them as friends. I am still their friend. They can still rely and count on me.
That's good.
Mm-hmm. What about how do you feel? We talked previously in previous segments about sex on a first date. What's your take on that?
You know, unfortunately, I can say it's happened. I guess if you're comfortable and it happens, it happens. I'm not going to go back and I'm not going to be upset with myself anymore. The first couple times that it happened with me, I was angry with myself. Like, how could you do this? And you gave everything away and that's all that they wanted. It happened. It is what it is. I'm not going to beat myself up over it.
But maybe it was all that you wanted too.
At that moment, maybe it was because, you know, am I still friends with those people? I am.
Well, and that's, that's the thing. It's the ones that, they want to shy away because they think that you're looking for something just because you did that. But being a more mature woman, you're not one of those girls that thinks because you did this, now we're in a committed relationship. Those 20s and those years are long gone.
Yeah, and I didn't do any of those things in my 20s, so I guess I'm living my 20s in my 40s.
Exactly. Excellent.
You're living your best life. Welcome back to your 20s.
I'm living my whole life. Happiness over everything is
I
what I'm
love
living.
that. That's it. That's perfect.
That's it. As long as you're comfortable with where you're going and what you're doing, and you've gotten to sow your oats, you've gotten to become who you wanted to be and find who you are within that direction. So that's good.
Yeah. All right. So as we wrap this segment with you, thank you for sharing your journey with us. Also, to my listeners, if you have it together and you want to date a dynamic woman in her 40s, reach out. We will connect you. But be prepared to have your shit together, period. She's going to require someone who definitely has it together and is definitely ready to move forward in a relationship. Chris, thanks for joining us today. We appreciate it.
Thank you. Thank you so much.
Thank you.